Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls.
Till the one day when the lady met this fellow. How you doing? How you doing? And they knew they were much more than a hunch. Well, it's true, it must somehow form a family.
Often I wish that we could take the time to see the need there is to be a family.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find.
We baby kids. Baby's kids?
Yeah, we don't die, we multiply.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Victoria Balenciaga.
And I'm Mocha 3 Bad, and we are the Hair Gawds.
And you've stepped into the Gawdess Lounge.
What up?
Nothing much, honey. What is going on with you?
Same shit, different day.
Is it a different day though with this corona?
Definitely is. This week has been different. Mother's Day just passed, and
yes.
had a opportunity to celebrate being a mother for the first, well, not the first time. It felt like the first time because my first two Mother's Day, I was home alone. Everybody had to work, and I was just home alone. So this time I shared it with my mom, my baby. You know,
What'd you guys do?
Literally nothing, and it was the best day ever. We didn't do anything but drink wine and listen to Betty Wright songs. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
She passed away, and what's so crazy about the Betty Wright situation is that morning, one of my friends, shout out to Francina, texted me and was telling me how she was just dying laughing because she was listening to the Woman to Woman episode that we did. And on that episode, we feature Betty Wright. And yeah, so I said, you know what, let me just listen to it again because, you know, we do so many of these podcasts now that I kind of sort of forget what's so funny about the last one.
Yeah.
So I went and like played it back to listen again, and I laughed, and I was like, yeah, we're dumb. And then literally the moment I'm done listening to it, I go on Facebook and someone's like, oh my God, not Betty. I'm like, what?
So sad, like, and so unexpected, and
Yeah, definitely unexpected. But my mom, when I told her what happened, she went to researching, you know, because Betty Wright is her girl. And she said that I don't know if it was Shaka Khan or somebody, I don't know. She said somebody was already writing about her being sick.
Yeah, I heard about her being sick. Like, I think it was like last week or something, but I didn't think it was
I didn't know any of this. So it was shocking to me, but clearly it was just something that we missed. I did not know she was sick. And but rest in peace to her.
Yeah, she's left a legacy, and she's left some good old music that will live on forever, and I will pass on because it was dope. Oh, I am.
You cannot pass. I mean, you can listen to it and you can sing it, but the lessons that were being
you don't gotta
taught,
listen to what she's saying, but you know,
groove to it because it's a bop. Damn, but yeah, good woman going.
Yeah, she's amazing. I just want to say, you know, publicly, happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh, I'm really smiling.
Are you really? No, seriously, happy Mother's Day. I think that you are a great mother to my little coconut, and that every day should be Mother's Day, and every day people should be honored for being a mother, and you are one of those people that should be.
Oh, that's really dope. And I just want to say thank you. And you do a great job spoiling her and taking care of her. And I cannot wait to return the favor when you have your children.
One day, maybe.
Sooner than later.
How do you feel about people being in your coochie though? Like,
I was just gonna say, I sound like somebody's grandma. Like, you need to hurry up and have them babies
because it's just so easy. Oh, I want to have a baby today, so let me just have a baby and get pregnant.
It's Thursday. Why not? You know,
crazy.
How do I feel about people being my coochie? Before I had a baby, I was not that offended until I wanted a baby. When people used to be like, "Oh, when are you gonna have kids? And I didn't really want kids. I was like, never.
Yeah.
And then when I did start to, because I didn't really want kids until like the year before I actually got pregnant and had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So during that year, when people were like, "Oh, you need to hurry up. You're 30 now. When you gonna have a baby?" And I was like, "Damn. I mean, can I find a husband? Can I find somebody I want to be with?
Yeah.
Or, all this stuff." And yeah, I used to feel some type of way. How do you feel? I mean, you definitely should have more experience right now than me with this.
I feel like I agree with what you're saying 100%. Before, it didn't bother me, but now that I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? Now I want to have some kids. When people are like, "Oh, are you pregnant yet?" "Oh, well, yeah, you need to get on this because you need to be pregnant," and all that stuff. It just feels like, not to say it's like pressure, but it's like, damn, are you going to take care of this child or these twins or these triplets? Because anything can happen.
Right.
So that's how I feel about it.
It definitely gets aggravating when it's an everyday thing, because at one point it was like your friends, then like my friends have, it's like literally if one friend isn't pregnant, the other one is.
Yeah.
And then it's like the other one has the baby, then the next one, "Hey, I'm pregnant." And then it's like,
Yeah.
damn. And then they're like, "It's your turn. You're next." It's like, okay, all right, chill. I am not next. I already seen what that baby is doing to you. I already seen what it's done to your body, your time, your resources. It's a blessing, though. It really is, but it's not something we need to jump into.
So you're saying that before you'd be like, okay, I see when your friends are trying to tell you it's your turn. I see how things are for you, and I'm like, I'm cool on that. Now that you actually have a child, do you still feel the same way? Do you think that you've turned into maybe that friend or that?
I'm absolutely cool on that. Okay. Having a baby is not something that you just want to jump into. And even though, some people have their children on the bathroom floor at 15 and then they do well in life. So
yeah,
when you're 30 and established and you got everything going for yourself, if you have to do it the Rihanna way alone, do it. If you have to do it unmarried, do it. If you want to, if you have to do it, by in vitro, whatever it is that you have to do it if you're ready. Like,
yeah,
I said that to say this is because no matter how much help someone gives you, that's your baby. It's all your baby. And it can get tiresome. I would still say if you're not ready, be cool on that. But just to be saying, to recommend to anybody, pop them out back to back and just have a kid. Oh, you'll figure it out. Yeah, that is the truth. But at the end of the day, you just have to remember that once you have a kid, there's no turning back. It's not nothing you can
I'm gonna
return.
give this baby back.
Yeah. So I try not to pressure people in that because it's a lot. It really is. It really is.
So to get a little philosophical for a minute, you think you could be ready for a baby? Like there is a time where you're ready? Like what is ready for parenthood?
I think there's a time when you're ready to be a mother. Because women have a biological clock, so we're naturally gearing ourselves up because we know that if we don't do something now, we might not be able to do it later. So I think that's the difference between us and why we mature a little faster is because we know we can play around in our 20s, but by the time we get 30, we know that if we don't settle down and make certain decisions differently, we won't be afforded the opportunity to be a mother in that way.
Yeah.
But I would say the timing, it's really depending on you. I'm just so happy that I traveled my ass off. I dated my ass off. I did everything that I wanted to do to the point where it was like, okay, well, I've owned businesses. I've dated plenty men. I visited plenty places. I've done it all. So I'm ready. And I think
you feel like you lived.
Yeah, I feel like I lived. But I do want to say that if I had a time that I can go back to, I wish I would have had my baby maybe 2 years earlier.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why after I ask you this question. Do you feel like there's a certain time that you think is that you'd be ready to have a child?
I think, like in general, or for me personally?
Personally, or both.
I think I should have had a child when I was like 24.
Okay. Why 24? What's the age? Give me that reason.
24 was like period of time in my life where it was just so great that I think I could have done anything. Like if I could go back to any year in my life, it would be 24.
I agree. I had the most
Yeah.
money at 24 than I've ever had.
Lord, R.I.P. to that. Yeah, no, that's what I would go back, just because I feel like I had everything that I would have needed to be what my idea of a great mother
Everything
is.
that you needed, including the experience of dating.
Yes.
And the baby daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do think so. I mean, I'm not like I'm what you call without even staying on this topic, I'm a fake ass hoe. I've never got to do the whole hoe phase, which we'll leave for another episode. Girl, I just act like one, but I'm not one. So I think I would have been, by the age of 24, I already met who I would have had children with and who I'm going to have children with. So I think I would have been fine at that point.
So you're basically just saying, because you've known your husband since then, that it doesn't matter whether it happened then or now.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, I hear that theory. Now that's you personally. Give me the generalization of it.
When is the best time? The best time for me is when you are definitely, I know people say it's so cliche to say that you need money to be a good parent. I don't think you need money, but I think that it's best to be financially stable. I'm not saying you have to be rich, but just be stable and be able to support the kid. I am one of those people that thinks it's selfish to have multiple children who are not afforded the same lifestyle. I don't think it's fair if one child can go to hockey, soccer, whatever, and the other child can't because one is going. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Gotcha.
Like, I think if you're putting one in an activity, then you should be able to put all of them in an activity.
Gotcha. I agree to that.
So that's why I think finances are important in that aspect. I think that you have to have the time. If you know you're working 3 jobs, I mean, it happens, right? But I'm just saying, if you're planning, I wouldn't do it in the busiest time of my life. It's not fair to your child.
Right.
I don't think if you intentionally know, okay, I'm going to have this baby and the baby's going to stay with my mom all the time and I'll come get the baby on weekends, I don't think that's fair, once again, to the child. So I think time, money, and do you even really know how to love right now?
Gotcha. Well, that part, if you don't know how to love, a baby will definitely teach you.
Yeah.
But I want to say back to, because remember I left my general statement. Yeah. I feel like the perfect age, and this is my theory, hear me out. I feel like the perfect age to have a child is between 27 and 28 years old.
Okay.
And
break it down.
Because that age, and mine, just to say it again, I had my first child at 31. And I feel like the drawbacks of that is that when we're in our 20s, we're still very fluid. We're still in our growing. We're finding ourselves. We're knowing ourselves, and we're finally getting our foot in the door in our careers. And we've dated enough to have messed up some, and finally starting to get it right. But the thing is that when you become 30. Anymore, you are stuck in a way. You don't want this, you don't like this, you're certain about these things because you know yourself so well.
Yeah.
And you are comfortable with those things, and these aren't things you're willing to compromise as much anymore, because you are a completed, like, not complete, because you're not complete till you did, but you're like a full ass adult then, like, so the fact that you're in your career, you're probably now in the upward trajectory of your, like, the best parts of your career, where, I just got a raise, I just got a new position. You're there, and then boom, you have a baby. So it kind of knocks you back down, because now you can't take those positions. You can't get the job that's going to be super demanding and do all those things, because now you have a newborn. And if you have a kid, it takes like 2 or 3 years to get your life back where you feel normal again. So I'm saying, if you have a child at 28, then you were just getting inside the career. You're probably at the bullshit position at the time. So that even if you do have a baby right then, it doesn't really matter. By the time you get back into yourself and things are back normal to you, you'll be about 30. Your baby will be 2 and, more independent. And you can go on about your life where you left it off at. But that interruption of life at 30, 31 years old is definitely different than at 28, 27 years old. It's a big difference because you're full steam ahead now. You have everything you want, and then it has to stop because now you have to be a parent. And we know when you have a baby, you can't be up in the middle of the night because, they might be sick, or it's just that age is just, it has a little bit more room for error. And I just say, aside from having children younger than 28, you should have enough experience by then and, live some life.
I'm so glad you brought that up. There's something that you said that I always wonder, and I've always wanted to ask a parent, and I just always forget to when I'm speaking to one. When you find that everything is happening at once, because even as an individual, sometimes life is just too much. It's like, I don't want to do today. You know what I mean? How do you deal with life and being a parent, especially a parent of an infant / toddler or a younger child?
For me personally, how I deal with life is I create a very, very firm schedule and routine. Of course, schedules and routines don't always go as planned, but if we do literally the same thing every night, Monday through Friday, and my child is used to it, it makes it easier for me, because the moment my child stays up an hour later than usual, she's stressed out, she's tired, she's fighting her sleep, she's annoying the fuck out of me. I need a drink or a joint, and I don't even smoke. So if you stick to those schedules, everything is much better. Much. I say that it's not a way to get away from life, but if you know that your kid is going to be asleep by 9, then as an adult, you know that, like, it's like getting off work almost.
Yeah.
And then you can have from 9 until 12 or whatever time you decide to go to bed to yourself, because you've finished your job for the day. But if you have a crazy day and hectic, and then you're running home trying to feed the kid at 8:30 and then take them a bath and they're not turned down yet, and then now it's really exhausted your day. And yeah, so I say schedule is the best thing.
Schedule and routine. Okay. Just taking some notes here. Let me just write this down.
But yeah, I also would say that, and getting a break. Sometimes if you have the village, don't be that mom who, I got it, I can do it, everything. Because when you do that, you make it very difficult on yourself. Everyone needs to restart, reset, and needs that time. So if you have a friend who you trust and you love, and you know it's gonna treat your child right, don't be afraid to let them go spend the day with your best friend, or the day with your mom, or your parents, or whatever it is. You need those breaks, because everyone needs a moment to themselves to recalibrate, or to just get their mind back right.
I agree with that.
And
100%.
if you don't, I do know that when you're overwhelmed and frustrated, that's when those kids start getting treated funny. You're, sit the hell down, shut up, be quiet. And oh my God, I hate when people talk to their kids like that. But that is why they're not getting enough breaks. They're not, I don't know. I'm not going to say that is why, because some people are just trash as fuck. So that's not why. But mostly when a parent is usually frustration, tired, aggravated. But what would you say is the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to? Well, do you want to be a mother? I'm sorry for just assuming.
I think that I was put on this earth to be a mother. That is the God honest truth, and I don't think I've ever said that out loud. This is so therapeutic. But yes, I do think I was put on this earth to be a mother. I think I'm one of those people that are supposed to be a mother. I do want a child. What I'm most excited about is watching them transform from like just sleeping all damn day to like talking, and I want to take them to the patio for cocktails. Obviously they'll have apple juice, but I want to do that kind of stuff. go on little dates with my, my son or my daughter. I want to do all that great stuff. That's what I'm most excited about. And just seeing who they become or how they turn out. That's the most exciting part. I love transformation. So I want to transform my own
part
child.
of it is amazing, but it
Mhm.
happens so quick. I
Yes.
literally feel
Yes.
like I had my daughter yesterday, and now she's
Agreed.
Stop, mommy, no. And
Yep.
who the hell are you talking to? Like, you're my kid.
Mhm.
Who are you telling me not to? Like, I would sit there and rub her face, caressing her, loving her. Stop,
Mhm.
mommy. Like, I'm on her fucking nerves. Like I wiped
Yep.
her, like she wiped my ass or something.
It's crazy to me because I just the other day I was on the phone with her. I was on FaceTime with her, and because for those of you who don't know, we FaceTime quite often because that's my bestie. And last week when I had talked to her, we usually say some of the same things, and she was, giving me answers. But then this week I'm talking to her and I'm getting full sentences, and I'm like, what the hell happened over like 3 days? It is amazing.
She went to sleep one day and woke up a giant. She just started talking. I'm for it. Literally, like, you know how they say things happen overnight? No, it literally happened.
Yeah, this is not
overnight.
an exaggeration.
Like,
yeah.
And she always, I'm very intentional. I always say that I'm a very intentional mother, lover, friend, wife, whatever. I do everything intentionally. And she was not saying, like, she'll ask a question. She'd be like, what's this? What's this? And I'm like, no, what is this? So now, because you really have to correct your children and stop baby goo goo gaga. I mean, stop that. Stop that.
Yeah.
Don't talk to your kids like that, because it's definitely the best way for them to slow down or not improve in their speech. So when she was saying, what's that? What's that? She was, that's not a complete sentence. So I would say, what is that? And she'd say, what is that? And the word eat, she never says eat. She always says eat, but she always says it like the letter E. Mommy, I want to eat. So I said eat. So now she's like, mommy, I want to eat. I want to eat.
Exactly.
And it's so, I can't say it's so simple, because obviously every child grows and learns differently. I'm just saying what works for my normal 2-year-old big head ass kid is that she learns best when I do not baby her.
And I think that that's super important too, because if you send them to a babysitter or leave them with someone and they're trying to explain that they're hungry or something, when you're using these little code words or whatever it is that you guys do, the slang, it's difficult for the other person that's caring for your child to know what it is that they're asking.
Definitely. And
super important.
It's getting to a point now where I have to spell out things, and then I can't even spell everything because my baby be like, A is for apple. Like she's not knowing how to, she doesn't know what the word I'm spelling, but she is definitely very smart for her age. And I'm so blessed. Thank you, Lord. Do you think that some people don't deserve children?
Oh.
Who would you say, if you do believe that that doesn't deserve children?
Well, fuck it, I'm going in.
Right.
Okay, so my theory is, and this is just my perspective, you don't have to respect it, you don't have to like it, I don't give a fuck, because I'm still going to think this way. It frustrates me personally, and I think I would still feel this way whether I had biological children or not. The people that they're malicious towards their own children, or the people that are like, well, I don't want to use protection because it just feels better. I'll just take a plan B. I'll just do this. I'll just do that. I'll just for that moment of satisfaction during coitus. People that are like, oh, I don't want these fucking kids. You can come take these kids. You can fucking have these kids. Or the ones that stupid ass little boy, stupid ass little girl, bitch. Those ones, I don't think that they deserve children, because
they deserve their ass beat. That's what they deserve.
Yeah, because I always think about, wow, I know people that actually cannot have children that would treat this child like gold. I know people that their only wish on earth is to conceive, and they would treat this child like gold. And you're over here like looking like your fucking daddy, looking like your slut ass mama. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? I can't even be around people like that. Because if you curse at your child in front of me like that, if you call your child a bitch or whatever, I'm gonna say something, and then we could fight.
Let me tell you something. You just walked right into my next statement, because I was gonna say, you know how you have, like, everyone's not allowed around your children. I have literally lost friends. Not friends, because my friends are pretty much like me, like associates, people who I'm like just starting to know, and they have children. And when you have a kid and you have a teenager, you want them to hang around other teenagers, and you want them to hang around kids their age, because, you know, they deserve friends. If I see that you are allowing a man to treat you any kind of way or talk to you any kind of way, or this man is manipulating you or running your life, it matters to me much more now if my child has to hang around your child, because I just feel like you are a weak-minded individual. You're letting a man tell you what is good or not good for you, instead of you making that decision for yourself or your child.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like this is a thought process I have, and I might be extreme, but fuck it, I don't care. When it comes to my kid, I am the extremist. It's like, you don't even stand up to him, or he doesn't respect you, or you don't demand him to respect you. So you think that I'm going to have my kid around you and you're around him, and then he says, throw that fucking kid off the bike, or push it. Like, I'm going to automatically assume that you're so fucking easily manipulated or swayed that you're going to do something to my kid, not because you would do it, because you're not strong enough to not allow him to make you do it. I don't let my kid go around people who are not mentally firm in their beliefs and their actions when it comes to their relationships to their significant others. I do not let my child hang around babies of people who have parents who talk to them any kind of way, because I would hate to beat your fucking ass about my baby.
Okay.
And you can talk to your kid any kind of way, which I don't like, and I will say something to you. And that would also be my last time being around you and your kid, or being around you, period, because my kid can't be around that. If you talk to your kid any kind of way, you'll talk to my kid worse. And I don't want to go to jail, but I will go to jail.
And this is a very prevalent issue. I was in my elevator in my building last year at some point. There's this little girl who's like 8 years old, and her mother is a heavier set woman, and the little girl is also heavy set. And they were coming in from the grocery store because they had bags, right? And we're all in the elevator. And the little girl says, "Oh, I can't wait to eat my chips." And she goes, "You're not gonna have any fucking chips. Look at you."
Oh no.
I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Your fat ass has the nerve to tell somebody that they can't eat no fucking chips."
Oh no.
I was so mad. But what made me madder was like, I was like, damn, the kid was right there. But it's like, my immediate reaction was like, are you joking, bitch?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna let her go to school now. People are gonna call her name. She's gonna allow them to, because my mom does it. So maybe I am a fat bitch, or maybe I am this or that. And then her confidence is, if you see this girl, I see her in the building all the time, looking down on the ground all the time. Like, just, she can't even look at people.
No,
and I know why. It's because of the way your mother is.
Oh my God.
Oh. So people like that, I don't think they deserve children. Do you have a certain type of person that you think does not deserve children, or you don't believe that anyone doesn't deserve
that? I of course, there's some people who don't need to have children. Everyone deserves the love that a child gives, but some people ain't shit. And honestly, that conversation alone just makes me so mad, because kids are just so great. Like, if you just experience the love of a child, whether it's yours, a niece, a nephew, a godchild, or a friend, it's like, people who in their mind, they're so sick. Like, how could you, like, no, it's so bad. Like, how could you think to tie a kid up or knock a kid? Like, you just want to fight the kid all day because they're a kid. People who just don't, like, you do not give a fuck that you're ruining someone's life by being nasty to them. And
that's the thing. And then they forget that these children are people.
But okay, so I also walked myself into my next question, which was going to be the village. Do you think that does it take a village to raise a child?
As someone who has no biological children, I do believe that it takes a village to raise a child. I 100%, because
who is the village then?
Who is the village? I think everybody has a different village. Depends on your life or your lifestyle. I mean, some people will say their village is their friends. Some people will say my family is my village. Some will say, I don't know, their coworkers. I already know who my village is, and I don't even have property. Girl, I'm funny.
No, you're not. You're retarded. That's what you are, a little slow. But I would say my village is my close friends, my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt is definitely my village. Mm-hmm. My sisters.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she my village, where she, remember, like,
about 30 minutes,
like I said in the last episode. Nah, but no lie, my mama gonna step. Like, we can sit here and laugh all we want to, but about her baby, my mama gonna step. My mom will actually rearrange her whole life to be a part of, her grandchildren's life. Now, if she needed to come help me, that's different. But definitely, she's definitely a part of the village. I have a thing, though, when I do think that there takes a village to raise a child. I feel like you have a responsibility as the person choosing your village. And hear me out, because your village includes your next door neighbors. It includes your children's teachers. It includes the bus driver. And, of course, like we named your friends and family. So if your neighborhood is in the hood and people are getting shot doing drugs right outside your door, then you in the wrong neighborhood for children. I'm not sitting here saying that everyone has the economical freedom to just move in the suburbs or something. But again, to the first point, you probably should not have children until you're ready. You are affecting your child's village. Your next door neighbors are going to see your kids in the street playing or, doing whatever. And I have to say this all the time. In certain neighborhoods, some things happen and others don't. We all have the same childhood, but everything that happens in one neighborhood does not happen in others. I've seen neighborhoods where the kids in the street faking like they're smoking weed, right? They're rolling a joint out of grass. I've seen that. And in other neighborhoods, I've seen kids in the street playing with chalk, flying kites, blowing bubbles. It is you are the difference. Where you decide to plant your seeds and raise them, that's your village as well. Schools, if you're gonna have your children matriculate through a school system that is failing, you're failing your child by that, allowing that to be your village. So I am very strong. Like, find somewhere nice to live. Find you a school that is great. Find you some friends that are of a good quality and standard. And if you know better, just do better for your fucking kids, because these are the people who they're going to aspire to be like and who they're going to spend the most time with.
I've got a good one for you, Mother Dearest. What is your view on spankings, and do you believe that your village can spank if you agree with spanking in the first place your child?
Ooh, child. Can we take a break?
We sure.
When we decided to start our podcast, we really wanted something that was fun and easy and user-friendly for our listeners. So the Anchor app has been a blessing. We can do literally everything here. We record, we edit, we upload everything right here on the Anchor app. It's super, super easy to use and super user-friendly. I strongly recommend you guys download the Anchor app by going to your app store and typing in Anchor, and you'll see it pop right up. It's literally been a blessing to us. It's the best thing that we have for podcasting and sharing our podcast. So you guys be sure to do that. Anchor app.
So now that we're back, I'm dying to hear what you got to say. So can anyone in your village, spank your child if you believe in spankings in the first place?
No. Yes and no.
Okay.
First of all, there's a difference between spankings and beatings.
Yes.
I spanks ass. Yes, I do. But a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between beating your child and spanking your child.
So what is this difference?
The difference is, I guess there's levels. A spanking is a pop, a like 2 pats on the ass, like corrective behavior.
Mm-hmm.
A beating is, you're gonna learn today. I'm gonna throw your ass across this room. You've got your ass beat, so you know the difference.
Oh no, I definitely know the difference.
I was gonna say you've been talking about it for 2 episodes.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I know the difference. Yes.
And so everyone in my immediate village allowed to spank my child. Yes, I would never leave my child somewhere where my child has the authority over you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to spank her for whatever reason, and it's within reason, and that's why you choose your own village, because you know what you guys are on the same level of what is agreed upon and not to spank somebody about, then sure, you have that right. But I do find that most, like 95% of people, do not feel comfortable spanking someone else's kid.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they're allowed to, they'll probably end up calling you before and say, hey, this little motherfucker just threw my phone inside of my fish tank. You better come get her. They rather do that than take matters into their own hands. And for that reason, again, that's why you need to choose who your village is going to be, because people can get out of fucking line and get their ass beat for playing. So
it's always a threat. Like there's a threat every episode.
No, this episode will be full of promises when it comes about my daughter. I do believe in spanking myself. I don't believe in like beatings. And I don't like when you're not supposed to beat a child or spank a child when you're upset. So anyone who's a parent, or even one who's ever raised a child or seen a child grow up, know that kids are fucking hilarious. 95% of the things that children do that is dead ass wrong, it's laughable.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that they don't deserve a spanking because of it. So if you know that your kid is sitting here drawing hard eyes out of spaghetti noodles on your dining room table and they know better, that might require a spanking. But if you're angry and instead of finding like laughter in the situation, you probably shouldn't spank that child.
I'm glad you said if they know better, because that's like a key statement.
If they know better. Now, if a cat, they don't know better all the time. They don't.
Come on. And you're getting super, super mad when this child is like 1 and doesn't know that they're not supposed to draw on the wall. Let's say, for example, it's their first time doing it. They have no idea. If you're angry, I don't suggest that is the time where you need to try to discipline your child physically. I want you to call my mother and tell her that when we get off this, but okay.
I'll call her and say, she said beat her ass now, but not when you mad. But no, so when it comes to spanking, I walk a very fine line about how I feel about it, because on one hand, I know that spankings don't always work, but I do know the difference between a child out of 3 weeks worth of not getting a pop and getting a pop once every week. Like, okay, you try, like they push it to the limit. Kids have a way of testing you.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'm gonna go to jail about this episode or not, but I do pop those thighs or that hand. But I am not going to beat my child. I'm not into that. And if I feel like my friends are into that kind of thing, then I just make sure that those aren't the friends that I have watched my child for anything.
Yeah.
Definitely don't. Do you beatings and spankings and stuff? I would say it's kind of old school. I do find that things that we do differently now probably work better then. Like like when we said in the Family Matters episode, we were getting our ass beat about literally everything. Like that was the only answer to disobedience. Okay, you didn't obey me, ass beating. It was kind of like a slavery mentality. do you feel that the old school way would probably work better than us new parents?
Oh, not real, kind of, and kind of, sort of, but not really. I wouldn't say that that should be the go-to, but I do think a lot of these kids out here today deserve a good old-fashioned ass whooping that I got. So I think that if they got those ass whoopings, they wouldn't be doing the stuff that they're out here doing.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that that should be the first thing that's done. No.
Yeah, I think that we in the old school method versus new school things. I think there's just things that we are people and we knew what we deserved.
Yeah.
And I hate when people say, "Oh, you don't have kids, so you can't tell me how to raise my kids,"
Yeah.
or you ain't no mama, so you can't tell me. I'm not. When I wasn't a mother, I felt like I would have made a better mother than half the mothers who were a mother. And when I wasn't a mother, I did not have the experience of being a mother, but I had the experience of being a child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking expert at being a child. I was a child for 18 fucking years. So you can't tell me that I can't tell you what is right or wrong because I was a child and now I'm an adult and I knew that that was not the right way to handle me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate when people use that kind of stuff, like you can't have experience because you don't have, the experience that they have. Everyone has different experiences, even in the same role. So no one's experience is going to be the same.
I think that's like a super ignorant statement because those are always the same people that ask you to watch their kids.
Yeah, you ain't got kids, but you want to watch my baby on Saturday while me and Ray Ray go to the Randy concert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that the old school way they weren't apologizing. They had no other understanding of what could work as far as discipline.
Yeah.
It was just get your ass beat or you're on punishment for 6 months or something.
100%.
I don't remember being apologized to often. If somebody apologized to me, it was, oh, because you shouldn't have been moving when I was beating your ass. Like,
you know what? You're right.
Like, oh, you only got a whip across your back because you should have stayed still.
Yeah.
And it would have only been on your ass.
I don't even want to do this, but now I gotta beat your ass.
I beat you because I love you. No, you beat me because you mad as fuck. And I just told you should not be beating me while you're mad.
Oh, then I gotta go to school and act like my mama don't be beating my ass.
You gotta sit down all soft and because your ass still red. Damn, we lived a rough life. It was rough. Okay, rough.
Oh God, that's over.
No, right? But I definitely apologize to my child now. Like a lot of times, like I'll be combing her hair too hard. You know how when back in the day you comb your hair, you say, "Ouch, sit still." Then,
yeah.
Like it was always your fault. I comb my child's hair too hard, and she's like, "Mommy, sorry," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Okay. That's her way of telling me I'm doing it too hard. And what does it hurt to listen to someone else's pain and understand them and apologize by it? If we were taught that, maybe we would be able to say I love you to each other. Child. So just even as something just that fucking simple, if you're combing your child's hair and you know that shit hurt because you've had your hair combed rough, why can't you just understand and be like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to do it that way, but just I'm almost done. Yeah. Even if there's nothing you can do, but it's still gonna hurt, at least sympathize with them because they're fucking people. Kids have feelings and they should be able to express it without getting their back broke. Oh, child.
You all right?
Where's a cigarette when you need it?
You all right?
No, I'm not all right. Shit.
Let me help you de-stress. Can I help you de-stress a little bit? You don't let me get into your business?
What?
I'm curious to know.
Oh, Lord. This is going to be some bullshit. I don't even know.
No. Do you feel that dating is different now that you have a child?
Oh, so that would be my business. Yes. I actually do not know how to date with my teenager.
Okay.
And I feel like that is the difference because I am not willing to have people around my child, introduce my child to anybody. And the relationship that I have with my child's father is very intimidating to a lot of men.
Okay.
We have a very family-like structured relationship. We spend days together. It does not mean that we're together or having like a fucking orgy party over here. Yeah. but we watch television together as a family. We sit down and eat as a family on a lot of nights. And I don't know how to introduce a man to that situation. And if I do, he has to be extremely secure in the fact that, of course, things will change. I don't expect,
him to come over and
like just, all of us sitting here together eating dinner, like it will naturally change, but it's just not as easy for a man to see that I just didn't have a baby by somebody I hate. I don't not want him to be a father just because we don't want to be together in that way. So dating, as far as like going out, finding a babysitter, again, you have to have a village that you trust and people who who's going to give you that break when you need it. And I want to just shout out to Christina and, my sisters and people who are here who are going to say, oh yeah, I'll watch you, go enjoy yourself for once. Like, it's been 6 months since you've done anything. Go ahead. I don't mind. But I just personally don't like to inconvenience others with my child, nor do I like to feel an ounce of like resistance about it. So like, even if someone's like, oh yeah, I'll watch her, and then you like, hey, can I watch, you want to watch her on Friday? Friday, I had something to do, but I'll do it. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that alone I would never ask you
Yeah,
again.
me too.
Because I feel some type of way about it. Even if, of course, it literally could just be that, but I already feel some type of way, so it doesn't really matter.
I agree with that. And
I don't leave my child in situations where people are not happy to receive them. Like, and what I can find is that there's been only a few people who have called me and like, hey, bring her over here for the day, without telling me, oh, you enjoy yourself, but like literally inviting her to stuff without me.
Yeah.
That's been very few and far between, and I really appreciate that, because sometimes you don't even want to say it or ask, but it just really feels good to have someone say, hey, I'll watch her while you live your life. And not that you can't live life with a baby, it's just not as easy because you can't just trust anybody with your baby.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you said that.
I really wanted to discuss the trials and tribulations of dating with a kid. A lot of people don't consider that children are real fucking people and not a purse or a pocketbook that you can just carry around wherever you want to go. So when dudes are like, oh, you want to go out on a Wednesday evening at 7? And it's like, yeah, I want to, but I have my daughter that night and I really don't want to inconvenience somebody else to, watch her. And they're like, oh, well, you can just bring her with you.
What?
The fuck? The fuck am I bringing? How am I going to first enjoy myself?
Yeah.
Like, with this kid climbing all on top of me, she does not know you, so she's not going to chill. It's going to be a competition. Secondly, I don't even fucking know you. Why would I put my child in a situation where I don't even know what's going to happen? You can be a fucking Ted Bundy waiting to, kill my ass. Why would I bring my child out into the atmosphere? So I don't know. Have you ever heard, like, I'm sure you've heard people taking their kids on dates where they're just still getting to know people, but I just think it's ridiculous. And I don't think people really think it through. Men, if you're listening, I'm not going to say it because some women are really about their life, and I'm not even sure when is a good time to introduce a man to your children, but it's just really not a fun date for a mom to take her children with her to get to know you.
I have never actually heard of anyone doing that, so I actually think this is hilarious.
Listen, it happens because these niggas be wanting to go out and they don't, and then that just makes me feel like, how desperate are you? Not saying that you're desperate because you're willing to go out with a mom who, has a kid, because sometimes that might just actually be what it has to be in order for it to work. But like, that shouldn't be like on the first date, the first try kind of thing.
Yeah, that definitely would be hard to get to know someone when they have to care for
their
child.
I have to feed. If we go to eat, I have to feed this motherfucker. I gotta, if we go out and 7 turns into 9, now she's tired and you're seeing me frustrated trying to be polite to you, but then I'm ready to go because my daughter is tired. No.
Yeah, but you know what? It kind of makes me feel like that person probably really has a genuine interest if they're willing to take you and your
Of
child on.
course.
Yeah, that's nice actually, but
Yeah,
weird.
I mean, it's nothing to the guy. It's not saying, oh, you're not a great guy. It's just saying it's not a great date. So like, please don't fucking ask, because it's super uncomfortable. And even if I say yeah, it's not gonna go the way we thought it would.
So you know what? Let me get into it then.
Oh Lord.
So if you meet a guy and you're like, oh, I really like him, he's really nice, or whatever, I'm really into him, and vice versa, at what point is it okay for him to meet your child?
Oh, I have to see how consistent he is in my life. I do not want to be one of those parents who introduces their child to every single person that they meet.
Yeah.
But I also believe that I have to see earlier than later how he interacts with children.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm still new at this. It's a swing and a miss for me right now. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It has not worked for me because I have not tried to work it right. Dating has not now or ever been at the top of my priority list, so it definitely falls under being a good parent. So I don't know, but I would say it won't be within the first like month or two.
Okay.
I have to see. I at least have to see your true colors. Are we angry? Have we beefed? Have you shown me other parts of you except the, oh, he's a romantic, nice guy and he wants to get to know me? I'd have to see. And if you have children, I have to see how you are with your own kids. Like, I know it's kind of like messed up, but I do think a man should introduce a woman to his kids before a woman introduces a man to hers.
That was going to be my
double standard.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah, go ahead.
It's definitely a double standard, but
why is that? Why do you feel that way?
For like, I don't want to get so deep and be like, oh, because women don't rape kids, but because they fucking do.
They sure do.
But it's not like it doesn't happen so much where it's like I can't be the nice lady I met that day. Like, oh, you're just a friend. Because there's women around all the time, I'm sure. So I could be one of many friends. And it doesn't mean that, oh, that's my girlfriend. But when it comes to men, there's not 10 men around my daughter on a given day. So one man is a big difference compared to, oh, Miss Tracy or Miss Niecy or Miss Jen. These could be all women that, work at the supermarket, work at the school. So, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just different. It is a double standard. I would be lying if I said it wasn't, but
I think
definitely different.
For me, it's like, not to say that I agree with that double standard, but I can kind of see why it exists, because I think it more so comes from that perspective that women are more nurturing. So it's like you're expecting motherly instincts or nurturing instincts to kick in when you bring your child around them, whereas men could be, less nurturing and a bit callous. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to leave them alone today.
No, don't leave their ass alone. It's the truth. But yeah, we don't have to go into it too much. But yeah, I do think it is a double standard, and I don't give a fuck. That's just what it is. I want to meet your kids very soon because I might not like your fucking kids, and I might not want your kids around my kids. So there's no reason for us to continue because I saw your kids and I saw how you treat them. Yeah. And no, it doesn't work for me.
One of my biggest fears in life was like, because I never minded if a man had children, that because obviously I don't have kids. And one of my biggest fears was like, oh my God, what if, because certain shit only happens to me. So what if I meet this man's kids and his kids are fucking horrible?
Right.
But it didn't work out that way for me, thank God. But like, I would just die. I would die. The relationship would have to end.
I think that I have actually experienced this because I've dated men who had children before having a child. A lot of times the problem isn't that the child is bad, it's that the dad is soft. Like, oh, don't mind my daughter. She curses at me sometimes and she doesn't do her homework, but she's a good kid.
No.
What? And then it's like, now I'm coming in as this new woman, and it's like I can already see that my role here would be to be
the disciplinarian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And because a lot of dads, especially on daughters, are not, they don't discipline
Mm-hmm.
them. And I don't mind, because I also believe that men should not discipline
Mm-hmm.
daughters. You can discipline your son, but don't touch my fucking daughter. I don't think a man should ever teach a daughter or a child, a girl, in any capacity, that a man should be putting his hands on her.
Agreed.
So I don't think men should discipline their daughters.
I think they should discipline
I
them. I
mean,
just
they
don't
can
think
discipline,
don't put
just
your
not
hands on them.
physically.
Yeah.
Because my dad, it didn't take much for him to just raise his voice, and I would be like, "Oh shit, he's mad for real."
And see, for me, that's funny, because the next thing I was going to say is, I don't even think a father should raise his voice with his daughter.
I only think that it's you raising your voice when you're actually like, that's the discipline.
No, because you could speak, you could, like, because they tend to be softer with daughters, right? You could speak to them firmly, but why are you doing that?
Oh,
Put
no,
that
you have
down.
to yeah, like when I say raise your voice, it's the difference between, "Hey, Mocha, you're doing this," and "Mocha, you're doing this, and I don't like it."
Yeah.
Oh, no, that tone of voice right there would have me dying.
Till this day, if my daddy I think if he ever raised his voice to me, I would probably cry, because it's never happened before. And I ain't no soft asshole.
You are a soft asshole. Now, my dad never really raised his voice. Probably I can remember 2 times, and that was it.
Did it make you cry? Like, did you get like
a bitch? And I ain't no soft asshole. But yeah, I definitely respond differently when my dad speaks to me than if my mom was to try to kill me. It's like, I'm used to that bitch.
No, for real though. Like, my mother, if she yells, I'm just like, "Oh, girl, are you done?"
Oh gosh, shut the fuck up.
Thank you. Right?
But when daddy yells, it's like, oh my
God. Can you imagine?
And there's actually scientific proof that mothers have to say things 10 times before they're heard once, and dads only have to usually say it once or twice. And it's because we've been hearing our mother's voice since we were in the womb. We've heard her at every tone, high, low, crying, mad, whatever, for so long and so often, because mothers usually take most time with the children, that it's kind of, we are desensitized to their seriousness or their anger, unless it's like the raising of the voice. So your mom would have to raise her voice in order to get you to be like, "Oh, she's serious."
Ugh, God.
Yeah, science, girl. I don't know, but fuck that. I said what I said. Come here, or you're gonna get pop.
The good old pop.
Good old pop. And I'd be lying, because I say you're gonna get a pop at least 700 times a day, and there's approximately 0.5 of a pop. But yeah, so the last thing I wanted to say, to ask, was, what do you look for most? Did I already say this? I'm not even certain, but the thing, not most about becoming a mother, but like, do you think that giving birth would be exciting for you?
No.
Are you looking forward to?
I don't want to give birth.
Wait, so how the fuck are you gonna get a baby?
I don't mind being pregnant. I don't care what pregnancy is like. I'm cool with that. I'll do that. I do not want to push a baby out of my vagina. I understand that your body prepares you for it. I don't like pain. I don't mind discomfort. I do not like pain. I could see myself stopping mid push and saying, "I can't do this," and just dropping dead.
See, okay, so let me tell you now, as a woman who had a 8-pound, 9-ounce baby naturally, pushing was the easy part.
I don't want to do it.
Pushing was the easy part. I'd rather push for 2 hours than to have the 9 hours of contractions that I had. Those contractions is enough to pull out your fucking hair. Like, if you want to know what a contraction feels like, stick your hand down the garbage disposal and flip the switch on. And just imagine that just being your uterus.
Oh my God. Why are you doing this to me?
It's really that bad. Like, I can't think of one thing in this world that feels like a contraction.
Well, how did you end up going into labor? What happened?
I went to the beach one day, and I had like this outer body experience. I was due to be induced like the next day, went to the beach, and I was like, it was like I was looking at myself from like heaven, looking down at myself. And I tried not to say anything to my mom or to my daughter's dad because I had a false labor 3 times. I didn't want to seem like I was being dramatic, but I knew like I felt crazy. Didn't say anything the whole day. And that night I got home and, took a shower, laid down at 11:50. At 12:27, I woke up out of my dream. It was like a contraction hit me. But when you're like half asleep and you're not really certain if it's the like was I dreaming or did some shit just really happen to me for real? So that happened, and then that was at 12:27. I got up, I used the restroom, and like I was trying to relieve myself, and I could not even pee because by the time I could finish, another one came. So at this point I'm screaming, and now everyone in the house is like running in circles. They're being hectic. It's so dramatic. It's almost like a scene from the movies. And rushed to the hospital, passing by red lights and everything. Get there, and I was 5 centimeters, I believe, 4 going on 5 centimeters. And they finally kept me because I was in active labor. I had my first contraction at 12:27 a.m. and I had my daughter at 9:27 a.m. Natural birth, no epidural, no anything, just pushing and just taking it like the G that I am. And I strongly recommend a natural birth to anyone for several reasons. You're not drugging yourself or the baby, so you're meeting your child at naturally. There's no lethargicness about the baby. It's it's more exciting. And I just want to say it's like the most beautiful thing. It's just like if you've ever been on like the labor and delivery floor before, it goes from being and then it's just so peaceful immediately after. It's like, oh, the baby's here. You're in the whole nother room and you just kind of know when new life is entered. It's like beautiful. I ain't saying I want to do the shit again tomorrow, but it's definitely like the best moment.
But you are saying you'll do it again though.
I'm not opposed to it. You mean what, a natural birth or having
another baby?
I birth out 10 babies, but I don't want to keep them.
No, don't do that. Would you have another baby?
I mean, yeah, I would have one, but I don't want one.
Okay, remember where you heard it first, y'all. She pregnant, y'all.
What?
Spread the word.
Spread the word. You pregnant?
No.
You tried it.
No, ma'am.
This is a food baby, honey.
Question for you.
Yes.
What do you find that you do differently in your parenting than what your parents did for you, or how they handled you?
I actually take the time I make time to be a parent. I'm, like I said, intentionality is everything. I set aside play times, like, okay, it's Thursday, we didn't do anything all week. Today we're going to go feed fish, eat ice cream, and walk on the marina today. And on Friday, we're not going to do anything, but I'm going to make sure I just sit and play with her. Saturday, going to wake up, we're going to eat breakfast together. Stuff like that. I just really make sure that I give her time, especially since she's the only child. I can't really say that it's something that my parents would have not done because, I grew up with 2 other siblings in the house. So I don't know if they had the opportunity to give us all that individual time. But I definitely make it my business to be a parent for a huge chunk of the day, especially like when I know she's with me all day or if I haven't seen her all day. So yeah, that's what I do different.
Amazing.
Other than that, I also technology is different these days. I'm not one of those moms who wants their kids to grow up on the tablet or playing on the phone all day. But I definitely use it. And at first I was like extremely resistant to the tablet, but it has helped my daughter's vocabulary, her food recognition, her memory. The only thing that I can say that I'm worried about is attention span.
Yeah, that's a big worry.
Like our attention span is already fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to, allow her to skip through videos at a time. But, once they get into the YouTube world, I don't want to see that shit either. Skip. So I don't know. But those are things that I feel are different. The technology is just different because it's a different time.
I agree.
I don't know. Moral of this whole episode is that shit is different. If you're gonna date a MILF or be a DILF, you know what a DILF is?
Dad, I'd like to F.
Oh, look at you.
Girl, I know all the dirty words. All them.
You don't even sound believable, sis. But yeah, if you're gonna date a MILF or a DILF, you gotta be flexible and know that these kids come before your trifling ass. So just fall in line and
Any
really
last minute threats you want to make? No, promises for this episode.
Promises is, and not just for me, but for any mom. I'll speak on behalf of every mom in the world. Don't fuck with my kid.
Every parent, period, bro.
I'm a parent too, but I would say that to even her dad. So it's me against the world.
You know what?
When it comes to my
I'm
kid.
so glad you made that statement because I got another question.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
One thing that I find to be bothersome for me personally is when a lot of women do this, whether they are with their child's father or not. They do this is my baby. Yes,
it is my baby.
Yes, you carried the child. Yes, you.
It is my flesh and my blood.
Okay, but why make the reference of this is my baby to the person who helped you create this life? That's what I
don't think. The thing is that yes, we definitely do it, definitely, but I don't think that it's done to be malicious. It's just, and I just like I said to my brothers, my mama called you.
Yeah.
Do you not call your mom my mama? Yeah. So it's petty. It is sometimes like it's definitely our daughter or your daughter when she took a shit. Your daughter took a shit. You need a wipe. Your daughter needs her diaper changed. But it's my daughter. It's like that's my mama. I don't care if she has 2 other children. That's my mama. And like you're my sister. I don't care if you have other sisters. Not our.
Gotcha.
Who says the word our? Like,
our is such a disgusting word. Just my final thought.
Okay. And are you gonna drop Mike after that?
I'm maybe. I don't know if it's gonna trigger something in you, but
gotcha.
One thing that I personally want to do differently when I do have my children, and I actually do differently with my bonus children, is growing up for me. If something happened, I wasn't much of a crier. I still am not. But if something happened and I were to cry, the first things that would come out of adults' mouths around me was don't cry or stop crying. And that kind of bothers me because now that I'm older, if something hurts my feelings or if I feel the need to cry, I don't cry for more than 5 seconds and I stop. It's very weird. I cry and then I go, what the fuck am I crying for? Because you know what I mean?
It's okay to cry.
It is okay to cry. Like instead, like what I do is I say, okay, why are you crying? Like what is wrong? Why are you crying? Well, because my toy just broke. Okay. Well, we could try and fix it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why stop crying? It's just a fucking toy. Like,
that's really what I wanted to say.
No, but it's true though. Their little feelings are hurt.
Because we have to remember that is the most important thing to them at that time.
Exactly. So yeah, that's one thing that I definitely want to make sure that any child around me is comfortable with expressing their feelings and not saying nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. I don't like that. Yeah. And that was random.
Yeah. No, that was actually a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. So.
All right. I mean,
drops
mic. See y'all.
Same time next week.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna fill our house with happiness, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness.